Welcome, Exiles! It's been about a week since I released my Abyss Strat, and a lot of you have been asking me for an update on it, along with a bunch of other questions. So I decided to make a follow-up video talking about what has changed since then and answering most of your questions. This isn't going to be a fully detailed guide about Abyss because I want to mostly focus on new things in this video, but if you guys are looking for more details on the strat, you can check my previous video where I've gone into as much detail as possible. So first things first, the strat is not nerfed. I've ran over 200 maps over the last week, and I've been dropping the usual amount of Omen of Lights and Omen of Abyssal Echoes. The price of Omen of Lights has increased from 10 div last week to around 25 div this week, but that's entirely because of inflation. Vol tempo runners are printing hundreds of divines per tempo run, which devalues the currency and puts more value on other stuff in the game because those people still need omens to craft their gear, they still need breach catalysts for their jewelry, they still need lineage gems to make their build stronger, and yeah, you guys get the idea. Also, Vol tempo runners are printing like 20 unique abyss tablets per run, so you don't have to worry about its price skyrocketing. Next up, the patch notes. GGG released patch 0.4D, where they finally fixed the Abyss Atlas passive that increases the chance for spawn monsters to be loyal to Amanamu. In the past, it used to reduce the chance, now it increases it as it should. This is not a nerf, it's rather just an adjustment. I've still been getting roughly around the same amount of Amanamu maps per batch of 10 maps, and the loss of effectiveness didn't seem like it hurt Omen drops at all. So all you need to do is just swap from Out of the Pit to Lightless Legions. And that's the only change I've made on the Atlas tree. Now, about the tablets, I'm still using the unique Abyss tablet to get a ton of additional Abysses and rare monsters, and I even started buying perfect rolled ones. As I mentioned earlier, their prices are probably going to remain relatively cheap for the rest of the league thanks to Vol Tempo, so we don't have to worry about that. As for the rare tablets, the ones I recommended in my previous video kinda exploded in price to the point where it's probably not worth using them anymore, so now I would recommend just grabbing 2 mod rare tablets instead of 3 or 4 mods. Get an Abyss and a Deli tablet with rarity and percent number of rare monsters, and you should be good to go. These 2 mod tablets are still pretty cheap and affordable, and even if they explode in price as well, you don't have to buy them. 2 mod tablets are pretty easy to craft. Basically, you can buy a bunch of normal or magic tablets, transmute and augment them, and check which ones get either rarity or percent number of rare monsters. The ones that get one of the 2 mods, you can re-go and exile to 4 mods, and hope you get the other mod. The ones that get neither of the 2 mods, just use an alchemy orb and hope you RNG your way to them. After that, you can just 3-to-1 reforge the brick tablets. If you happen to get a 3 or a 4 mod tablet, you can either sell it or run it, but I'll leave that choice up to you. Also, if you're not a fan of rarity, you can swap it for map has 2 additional random modifiers, but this mod makes the map a ton more difficult, especially when Remnants of Power procs and doubles the effects of tablets. As for effectiveness and increased difficulty and reward of Abyss monsters for each closed pit, I don't think they actually do anything for Omen drops. I've noticed rare Amanamu monsters seem to always drop 3 Omens, and normal Amanamu monsters always drop 1 Omen, which kinda makes me think it's a fixed amount of Omen drops. But Wisps clearly make them drop more Omens, so I'm not sure what in the jankiness is going on there, but I figured it's worth mentioning. As for the Chaotic Omens, I still think Chaotic Omen of Monsters is the best because it allows us to hunt for the +1 mod to rare monsters. On top of spawning a truckload of extra rare monsters in the map, it did kinda go up in price by almost 10 times, and now it's kinda expensive. So if you're low on budget, or if you don't feel like spending this much currency for a strat, you can either sacrifice the +1 mod to rare monsters, or you can just use an Omen of Chaotic Rarity. Both are very solid budget options. And finally, I want to talk about how to get the Amanamu monsters to leave their Void Storm. First off, we need to make sure to proc their Deli attack. There are 4 Delirium attack types. A forward cold attack that hits once, a lightning attack that spawns a ton of small spark-like explosions all over the place, a circle AoE physical attack that spawns red spikes under your feet, and a forward fiery whip attack. The first 3 get easily triggered from outside the Void Storm when you approach the rare monsters. However, the Fire Whip attack requires you to go into melee range to proc it, so you should be careful careful not to kill the monster when you run into the Void Storm. After that, I recommend using a skill like Firestorm, Thunderstorm, Ice Storm, or any other duration-based skill that hits enemies frequently. The idea behind it is that we want to continuously keep hitting the Amanamu monsters while we're running away from them in order to keep aggro and actually chase us out of the Void Storm. If you're a melee build, this process is still going to be extremely annoying, but hopefully it helps a little bit. If the monsters completely refuse to move, even after you proc their deadly attack, you might have stolen an invisibility modifier with your Headhunter, so just unequip and re-equip it to reset your Headhunter stacks and the monsters should start chasing you normally. And of course, if you get a Shade Walker or a Shadow Walker mod that teleports you around all over the place, you must unequip and re-equip your Headhunter so you don't break your loot by getting teleported inside Void Storms. Alternatively, if you're not a fan of pulling the monsters out, you can try and nuke them instantly as they're coming up from the pits, but there is a small risk where if you don't manage to one-shot them and the Void Storm spawns as they're about to die, the game might think they died inside and you might get Omen of the Liege. Also, something important I want to repeat is that if the Amanamu monsters die inside the Void Storm, you will only get Omen of the Liege. So if you're playing a dot build or a minion build, or you're using Palm of the Dreamer Scepter, which gives you the Glooming Shrine effect that makes monsters go kaboom when they die, you will end up killing the Amanamu monsters inside and you'll only get Omen of the Liege. These are a few things I've noticed that can damage and kill Amanamu monsters in their Void Storms, but there might be more out there. That's about it for this video. I hope you guys found some of the information in this video useful. This strat is still pretty damn crazy, and it's probably going to keep getting crazier the longer we go into the league, because it seems like inflation will keep pumping the cost of various items higher and higher. Whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know, but it's fun having thousands of divines in the stash. Also, I saw a lot of you guys have been asking me for a map tier list, but I didn't really want to include that in this video because there's a ton of maps in PoE 2, and if I were to talk about all of them now, it will make the video way longer, and I kinda wanted to keep this one a bit shorter, so I'll be making a separate video about that topic in a few days. If you guys have any questions or recommendations, drop them down in the comments below, and I'll reply back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video and you wish to see my future Path of Exile content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay sane, Exiles!